Yo, what up, people? Welcome to the Joe McFo Show. We're going to be doing another concept art stream. This is what we focused on last week, and you know what? I was pretty excited about it, so we might just continue with the same exact piece. I also want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are presently watching and who will be watching in the future. Hope your day's been going well. Before we get started, let's get some music going. Let's see. I can never remember what these songs are on the list. Hopefully that's loud enough for everybody. And hopefully it's not loud enough where you can't hear me or it's causing audio issues. Oh, what's up, Khalid? Happy Father's Day to you. Happy to be here. Happy you're on, man. Appreciate it. All right. Oh, by the way, I've been telling all my friends to watch My Dad, the Bounty Hunter, and so far we're getting 100% Rotten Tomatoes scores. Everyone loves it. So thank you for letting me know about that awesome show. Mark of Artists here. Good morning, Jordan. Well, I guess it's more like good evening for me. It's 6 p.m. here, but good morning for you. Thank you for coming on. All right, so I think we'll just be continuing this one, unless I actually haven't looked at these in a couple of days. We had some of these other concepts for Shadowboxers, and we went and did this one on the bottom. But there's a couple others that we could do. I guess we'll just see. We'll just play it by ear. Who knows? Right now, I'm in the mood for this one. So I think if we can get this to be a little bit more clean, and then we'll just build from there. And I've been using my Patrick O'Keefe brush set as well, and that's been pretty fun. So let's see what we got here. So this is a quick sketch of what we're working with. And clearly these are giant statues in a particular location in Shadowboxers, which I have not revealed, and I will not reveal it because it's a very important part of the story. And then we just tried to play with some colors. We had this kind of green and blue and purple mix in here, which I really like. I thought it came out really cool. And we used a painting from Into the Spider-Verse, and yes, I'll grab my water for that. We got Into the Spider-Verse painting that was inspiration, but I painted all over it now, so we can't even see it. But it was a really cool one. We got some lights here. So yeah, let's just see what we come up with. Oh, we got Cappy on. Hello, Cappy. Thank you for joining. And everyone else, see, looks like we got a couple more people in the chat. Whoever you guys are, please say hello. Tell me how your day's been, and yeah, let's see what we can do today. I have no expectations. I have no clue what's going to happen in the stream, and so we're just gonna freestyle this a little bit. Oh, okay, we're not gonna start with that though. That's a no. Okay, one thing I do want to try out. I think it'd probably be good for me to get some reference. You have to drink some water. I did. I drank some water. I took a sip. Farmer Fox is on. What's up, Farmer Fox? All right, so trying to get some inspiration here. Some of these painters that I want to look at are just freaking phenomenal. And new job, can't stay long, fly out of town tomorrow. Oh snap! Well, congratulations on the new job. I am excited for you. What's the new job, if you don't mind me asking? I'm very curious. All right. So one thing I think I want to try here, I want to clean up a lot of what was established in the previous stream. So let me get rid of this kind of purplish light, and we're just going to spend some time cleaning this up, because I don't want to rely on just the line work from this. I want to be able to kind of clean up some of these shapes and see what happens. So let's do that. I think we can with the square brush here. Farmer Fox says Red Bull. Oh, cool! You work at Red Bull now. That is awesome. Good for you, man. Okay. Okay. These are what the statues are. So one thing I really want to think about is probably first off, Let me lower the opacity of the lines. That way I can really get into where everything should go, because this is really rough. Like some of these, it's kind of not making a whole lot of sense right now. Oh, okay, so that brightness wasn't all the way there. I gotta admit, it's still weird exclusively being Clip Studio for these streams. There's so many things I want to do and haven't gotten used to yet. So I want to focus on my lighting here. Matter of fact, it might be good to just like lasso some of these things. Yeah, let's try this. So did anyone do anything fun for Father's Day? Any special events going on? I sat in my room, or my living room technically, and watched reruns of old cartoons and some other shows that I liked growing up. That was pretty much it. Okay, so let me go in here. Really like some of these textures here, but I'm probably gonna have to cover them up a bit. I gotta think about the lighting scenario too, how that's going to affect everything. Matter of fact, that should be close with this. Yeah, here we go. Megan says, "What is up, Joe McFo fam?" What's up, Megan? Appreciate you for coming on. Don't forget to like the video. Yes, that is true. Please like the video. I might need to go call my dad, not because I forgot Father's Day or anything. Yeah, please do. Go call him. Go call him. Tell him I said Happy Father's Day as well. Hope he's doing all right. Haven't seen him since your wedding. And he almost drove off with my keys in my wallet. That was not a fun moment that was going on. All right. So for this, I want to just I want to be kind of free with this. So it might even be better if I zoom out significantly. Really just want to experiment with stuff and see how it all works. So the light is going to be coming from above. And why isn't this? Oh, display color. There we go. Oh, that's odd. Why isn't pick color from layer display color? Why isn't it coloring the right color? That's so weird. I'm not fully understanding it. Oh, I know why. It's because the line. That's what it is. That was done. Okay. So this is gonna be interesting. How are we gonna do this face? Everyone's Megan's like, I gotta go. Yeah, if you guys haven't called your fathers, please take a second and do that. Let's see. It's so weird doing this because I'm so focused on using line for everything that trying to just kind of paint everything is really strange. I don't fully grasp it the same way. I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I want to not have to rely on line all the time. But maybe it's what makes it look cool. I don't know. It definitely helps me stay in the boundaries quite a bit. Or maybe what I could do is just incorporate some lines later on and just make them a little cleaner than that sketch. Okay. So what I'm doing here, doing the face, but I want to keep it pretty vague. Matter of fact, let me find the reference I was using before. There's a very specific lighting reference I had on my Pinterest that I forgot to pull up, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be too hard to find because I know where it is. There we go. Okay. And again, thinking about the lighting, light's coming up from above, so there's going to be shadow underneath. As far as the colors go, I'm still trying to decide how all that's going to look. There we go. And then also just deciding what color these rocks really are. So I'm thinking that they're probably actually like a greenish gray type of color, but with the lighting being so extreme, it's going to be more pronounced. So that's going to be a lot of fun to play with. So let's do that. You can even see some of the painting that I worked over in this. Some little remnants. You know, actually, I could have used the symmetry tool this whole time. Let's see. How do I do that? Symmetry. Okay, I think this is it. There we go. Yeah, this will give a better sense of what's happening. Now give it a nice crisp edge for the sleeves and everything. That I think will help the illusion. So it's got like this robe. There we go. Hello, Erica. Thank you for popping on. Is there someone being loud in your vicinity, Jordan, or am I hearing things this early in the morning? There are little children playing outside. I'm surprised you can hear that because even I can barely hear it. But yeah, there's little kids playing outside. I think they're literally like right behind this wall is a little yard. So yeah, that's what's going on. Hearing little kids play stuff. I think they got scooters. I'm pretty sure there's like 4 or 5 of them. By the way, guys, so all right, I'm gonna do a preemptive water drink because I already know what situation I'm getting myself into when I say this. I am curious to know what you guys think of the new cast photos for the Avatar: The Last Airbender show. Oh, geez, yeah, really loud. So I saw this on Instagram like yesterday, but let's check this out. 2023. They released pictures of Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Zuko, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it looks pretty good. Like, where's the photos that they released? I don't want to have to go on Instagram and find them again. This should be really easy to find. Oh my gosh. Alright, maybe I go here. Is this it? Okay, so they released a little trailer. The trailer literally just has the 4 emblems or logos, and that's honestly it. It's kind of boring. But yeah, so we got Aang right here. I think he looks pretty cool. And you know, there is one thing that I do like, or that I did like about the original live action, is the tattoos that Aang had. I liked how they added a bunch of little designs in there. I thought it looked pretty cool. I didn't like how it was just black. So I think they found a happy medium. If you look real closely at the arrows here, you can see there's like a bunch of really small designs in his forehead. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but I think that's a really cool touch. And the blue actually fits. This kid's got the thickest eyebrows on the planet. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we got Aang right here. Zuko actually has a scar, looking pretty solid there, looking like an actual 16-year-old, which is great. And we got Sokka. And where's Katara? Here we go. And what's crazy is these two actually look like they could be siblings. They have very similar features. So I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? I'm very curious. It's giving hostage situation. I'm glad I'm not hearing things. No, I think they're just, I think they're just doing their thing. Yeah, I seen that, by the way. Hi. Hello, Modi. Thank you for coming on. And then I think they're looking pretty good. Yeah, I think so too, right? Like I showed it to some people, and they're like, I'm not getting my hopes up, and they're like, I'm not. I think I don't know if Christian's on yet, but he was like, yeah, I got to see how Uncle Iroh's gonna look. And then another person was like, if Sokka's not funny, I ain't watching it, which I understand that one. But yeah, considering, I think they're actually not doing a terrible job. Like I'm not. I like to go in good faith on these types of things, and just see what happens. There's no way I can know what they're thinking. I can't predict anything. But we're just gonna have to see, y'all. We're just gonna have to see. I don't know what to expect. I don't even know. Let's turn that past. So like I said, guys, I don't even know what I'm doing. Should probably still be a greenish color. Brighter. Same with this. Okay. So I keep turning this off and on just to make sure that that everything is reading properly, because eventually I want to get rid of these lines, but I just don't think I'm at the stage to do it with confidence just yet. Okay. Here. Let's see. So if the light's coming from up here, gotta be real careful about how I show these little bits of facial hair. This would be the mouth. Shadow underneath. Okay. Okay, so the light is going to be coming from the center. The middle should have a highlight right here. I'm not even sure if I'm picking the right colors for this, but that's what all this is about. Learning, figuring it out as we go. I'm trying to learn to not be attached to any specific outcome when it comes to my artwork. It's really tough to do that because I'm so used to wanting something specific whenever I work, and I think sometimes when you just spend time only focused on how it's going to turn out in the end, it can actually sort of stunt your growth or your process of thinking. So I've been really working on just going in, doing what I need to do, laying down things where they should go, and just hoping for the best outcome. Maybe not hoping for the best outcome, that sounds kind of passive, but I guess trusting the process. That's something I'm trying to work on mentally, because as an artist, we always want things to come out well, and you'll find that a lot of people have even said things like Michael Jackson's quote is saying something like he's limited by the restraints of his own imagination or something like that. And it always resonated with me when I heard him say that, because I was like, man, there's so much I want to do, but kind of struggling to get the exact results I want. I don't know. Have you guys ever dealt with that before? I imagine I'm not the only one. Oh my gosh, these kids. It's funny. I've been in the living room all day just chilling, watching stuff, drawing, and they picked this one time to actually start like screaming. I just heard a door shut, so that's they're cute. Nope, never mind. That's what you're saying. Try out the lasso tool. Let's see how this does for me. Maybe that's what I should do. Let's try lasso. Let's see how that does. That goes. Okay. So if I can come back in, get slightly yellow. Okay. Let's see. Where's the opacity? Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's bring that opacity down. Let's bring this a bit darker. Right now, I'm trying to get the roundness of the forehead, showing that form. I'm trying to figure out exactly what style I want, because I want it to feel blocky, but I also want to show the three-dimensionality of everything. So yeah, let's see how this all plays together. Pass it. Okay. Been trying to get the Rob Rupel look. Those of you who don't know who Rob Rupel is, by the way, because I mentioned him on another stream. He's got a really cool way of painting, just with lots of blocks of value. Actually, I don't know. Is this his? Oh, I guess that is. That's no, I was looking at. Here, maybe if I could go to this one right here. So something like this, it's really sharp, really graphic. This is the kind of look I'm trying to create with what I'm working on now. And yes, he did work on Spider-Verse. They actually based a lot of this backgrounds off of the way he paints. And I'm trying to learn from that. I think there's so much you can get out of learning this style and way of working. One of the things that he says, just be decisive. That's one thing I have a hard time with, just in general, being decisive with my work. I always end up going over it again and again and again and again, but I gotta learn to get over that. So if I just stick to some simple values, though, should be fine. the way I'm drawing these forms, I think you have the mannequin head, thinking of the planes of the head and how that all kind of comes into play. It's super important to understand how that's all going to be distinguished as well. Okay, it's not looking too bad. It's good. Darker color down here, the shadow. Okay, I think that's starting to look decent. Okay. He was a lot taller. Wait, what happened? Did I shrink him? That's not right. I need to move him. What in the world? I don't even understand how that happened. Okay. Well, we're just going to do a little plastic surgery. We're going to move him to his proper place. Which unfortunately means I'll have to move that symmetry tool thing, but you know, it is what it is. Matter of fact, let me actually even get rid of this whole section right here. Okay, the symmetry tool. I genuinely don't know how or when that happened. It's actually a little frustrating. Okay, can I change the position of that? No, that's not it. Move grid, here we go. It doesn't want to work. Oh, that's lame. Come on, work. Do the thing. Okay, let's delete the ruler and let's play it again. Because cooperation is apparently not important nowadays. There we go. Are you painting the light or will you do that later? Let me ask again, will you paint the stone figure first and add a light layer on top of that, or are you painting everything all together? I'm just doing the local values right now. I'll do the light later on top. It'll be easier to change, but the challenge is figuring out like how everything's going to be shown too. So yeah, like I don't want to get too dark, but I don't know if this yellow is really working. The planes are right, but maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of use a little color balance here with some green, not that green, and then some blue. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. That feels really good. I'm not exactly sure what stone this is, but I definitely want it to feel green. Matter of fact, do I still? Oh, I closed I had an image with the color palette, and I don't know where it is now. We can look for it again now. Let's go to my here. I got Spider-Verse. Okay. Don't worry, I'll take a sip for that. There's literally 870 images here, though. I gotta find the one I was looking at. So that might take a second. I know it was the Collider. And again, I don't even know how I got this. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Excellent. That wasn't so bad. It took about 12 seconds. Yeah, so we use this one for the color reference. So this is what I'll be pasting in here, specifically this top one. Let me go up here and let's just get rid of the area we don't need anymore. Don't need this bottom one. Yeah, all the color references come from this. And then also let me let's apply. Let's put that gray there. And again, the other goal for this is not to have something that turns out like absolutely perfect. The goal is just to have something that's more readable and something that works. So let me go back in. Let's see, how did I draw this before? I'm trying to draw these wrinkles out. Yeah, a little bit of pink. Probably stay away from the black for the most part. I'm sure I can incorporate some lines, but I don't want that to be a crutch of mine, at least not for this. And then at some point, what I'll do is I'll come back in and make sure the symmetry tool isn't exact, so it feels a little bit more natural. One reason I'm doing on this is so it's easier for me, because I am painting a guy who's basically symmetrical on both sides. And then this lovely door here will need to be addressed. Kind of liking where this is heading. Let's do some thicker brows here. I like the proportions on this face. I think that's all looking pretty good. Let's do a little bit lighter for, actually let's pick a color. Let's pick something like this. With shadows underneath. All right, this is looking pretty cool. Kind of liking this. You know what else I should probably do? Just so I don't lose the spirit of the image. Let me pull this into. This was the original sketch. I always think it's good to have this on your page somewhere just to kind of double check, because I don't want to lose what made this sketch so fun. That's something that I think is really, really important. Shout out to the architects and sculptors of this cavern lair. I hope they were paid well. I hope so too. Probably a lot more money than I make. Whoever did this. Have to add that into the lore somewhere. Okay, something is happening. Oh, wait, the screenshot's supposed to be up here. There we go. Do y'all ever wonder how Dexter actually built his lab? That's a good question. I don't know. Well, okay, so here's an age-old debate. Is Jimmy Neutron's lab better, or is Dexter's lab better? I watched more Jimmy Neutron because I think it was airing more when I was a kid than Dexter was. I still think Dexter's is more impressive. It's just bigger. It's just way bigger, and as far as I remember, and the fact that he was able to hide it from his parents, I find really impressive because I don't know how you do that. Jimmy had an outhouse, and it looks like he built the whole thing underground. I don't know how he did that either, but yeah. Although I will say Jimmy figured out how to breathe in space without using any sort of helmet. Yeah, be pretty smart to do that, or I guess just that's just the physics of their world. But I found that super impressive as a kid. I was like, what? His head should be like exploding. Because I saw, what's that movie? There was a movie where an astronaut had to take his helmet off to save the day. Was it the one with Bruce Willis? Can't remember. It was I'm pretty sure it was a Bruce Willis movie, and it had like Steve Buscemi in it, and they were all astronauts. Or no, they were like construction workers, and they had to like drill a hole in astronauts or no, an asteroid so that it would save the planet or something. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I know my mom would know. But anyway, question still stands: is Dexter's lab better? The laboratory itself, I'm not talking about the show, the quality of the show, or is Jimmy Neutron's lab better? That is the question of the hour. Chat's pretty quiet today. What's going on, y'all? I must be spending time with your dads, which I don't condemn at all. Okay. All right. Kind of digging this. Yeah, those other sections going to need quite a bit of work. I can already see it coming. It's okay. Let's go back in. I do want to do some more color balancing on this. Add a little more green, some blue. Yeah, let's make it just fit a little bit better. Like it's part of the same rock, you know? Like I don't even know how dark it would get. I'm not even quite sure about that. Let's see. I watched Dexter, so I'll choose his lab. But Dexter's room is upstairs, and the house from the outside looks normal. So where is his lab? Yeah, that's the thing. That's really impressive to me. That's why I'm like, that's pretty crazy. Armageddon. Yes, that was the movie Armageddon. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate that. At least Mandark's Susan's lab can be seen from outside. I don't even remember what Mandark's lab looked like. Dexter's. So the thing is, if I type Dexter's lab, it's probably just going to show title cards of the show or characters in the show. Here, let me put environment. Look how stylized the show was. Like, look at that. How do you hide this? And what even is all of this? Did he hire people to build it? Did he build it himself? Where did he get the supplies and materials? Who's financing it? What does the electricity bill look like? Like, there's so many questions I have about this. He's even got his logo on the freaking door. What? That could be fan art, but still, like, I don't even know. Guys. There, let's just type in Jimmy Neutron's lab. Oh no, I spelled his name wrong. Yeah, his lab just it looks like it was made underground, which I'll give him. It makes sense. I'll give him that. Um, I did like this little kind of fake out clubhouse thing, and you just jump under the table. I used to freaking love Jimmy Neutron. That was my show back in the day. My whole DNA scanner. Yeah, that was a fun show. That was a fun show. I do miss those days, being able to watch Jimmy Neutron, Dexter's Lab, and just being excited for the new episode. I remember like waiting for the When Pants Attack episode to come on. I'm pretty sure that was like the first episode of the show, right after the movie came out. And I saw the movie in theaters too. That was pretty dope. And Lil Romeo did interpolation of Parents Just Don't Understand, Will Smith song. It was like, nah, nah, they don't understand. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those were the days, yo. Those were the days. Okay. So let me go in. I'm just going to give this dude a full beard, full goatee. I'm curious, is anyone here going to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? I'm very, very curious. I am going to see it personally. I am too much of an indie fan to ignore it, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't have a bad feeling about it. You know, like I just don't see how that movie's going to be a good idea. Especially, I respect Harrison Ford a lot, but dude's like 80 years old. I don't know how they're gonna pull off all that. I don't even know how he's still able to do it at 80. Like that's really impressive to me. I come back to discussions of cartoon character secret labs. Nice. Yeah, what else did you expect, Megan? What else did you expect? Oh, Manette says it's bigger on the inside. Yeah, Mandark's lab is bigger on the inside, but he's also not hiding it from his parents. So are we? Is that a qualifier, having a lab that's so secret that your parents don't know? That is, I mean, in Dexter's case, well, first of all, why wouldn't his? What did they ever talk about why his parents wouldn't want him to have a lab? Like clearly they don't notice. Like I'm actually trying to figure out why it's a secret. I don't remember. I never watched an Indiana Jones movie. Wow, that's unfortunate. I can't rag on you too much because there's plenty of things I haven't seen that you guys have all ragged on me for. So it'd be very much calling the pot calling the kettle black. But Indiana Jones is some good stuff. At least the original trilogy. Jordan, stop giving them your money. This is why they keep making these terrible remakes. First of all, Indiana Jones is always going to be epic. All right, even the fourth movie. I didn't like it that much, but it's still Indiana Jones, so it's there. Khalid says, I can't wait for the new Indiana Jones, but I'm afraid it's going to look silly. All the action scenes will be of him in flashbacks to the younger Indy. Yeah, like, it's indie. You know, it's one of those things you just gotta see. You have to see it through. And I don't know. It's just how I'm wired. And by the way, Megan, about not giving them their money, first of all, it's not like we have a lot of opportunities to make more Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford, so I got support. Second, if it makes you feel any better, I've never given a single dollar to the Fast and Furious franchise, and they've made like 12 of those. So I have heard, from what I have heard, they are giving dudes like superpowers, and they're like in space and all that. I don't even know what's going on in those movies at all, but it just sounds rather terrible. So I am glad that I don't have to be a part of that whole madness. Okay, looks like I'm trying to figure out if I should be following my sketch or not, because the sketch looks good, but this also, maybe I should make the face a little bit shorter. Yeah, I think that nose might be a little on the long side. There we go. Yeah, guys, I'm a bit of an old soul. Those of you who know me know I should have probably been born in like 1974 or something because all my interests are things from like the 70s and 80s. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly. Um, Dexter doesn't want his parents to know he's smart. Okay, it's been a while since I watched the show. That's a. Does he say why? Why wouldn't you want? Usually, people are hide the opposite. Usually, they hide that they're not smart, like people fudging their grades and stuff like that. Although I don't believe grades are a measure of intelligence necessarily, but still, like that's it's interesting. I clearly got to rewatch Dexter. I'm curious, what shows did your parents not let you watch as a kid? And I'm talking about cartoons specifically. So for me, the shows that I was not allowed to watch was Ed and Eddie and Cow and Chicken. Those two were off limits for me. I'm curious what those shows were for you guys. We can all commiserate together. All right, this is not looking too bad. I think I can probably turn off the symmetry ruler now. And I can start having some fun. And again, I don't know what this is going to turn into. I have no expectations. I'm just like, let's make something. Let's make something and hope it looks cool. I think this blue is going to come from this white object that's kind of glowing. That's my interpretation. What's happening here? Gonna have the wrinkles. And then he's got some of these textures and colors. I watched Fast X yesterday. It's a lot in a good way or a bad way. I assume it's a bad way. I don't know anything about the story. You can feel free to spoil it, unless someone in the comments says don't spoil that movie specifically. Then feel free to just tell us about it because I probably will never see it. I don't really care. Megan says my dad hated SpongeBob. It's not because he thought it was bad for me. It just annoyed him. He blocked Nickelodeon just so he wouldn't have to hear that voice. Kind of fair, honestly. Dang, block Nickelodeon? That's unfortunate. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Man, I don't know what I would have done if one of my parents blocked Nickelodeon. Like it's one thing to just not have cable. It's another thing entirely to block Nickelodeon. Um, yeah, that's tragic. That is so tragic. My heart goes out to you. My family didn't allow watching The Simpsons back in the day because it was on at the same time as The Cosby Show. That's kind of funny. I appreciate that. Yeah, I actually just spent the last couple of hours watching The Cosby Show. I got this channel that plays it like 24 hours straight, and I just watched a bunch of season 7. And yes, I had to ignore some of the rumors and things. Just be like, just watch it for what it is. It's unfortunate though, all the things that have come out, but neither here nor there. I don't remember not being allowed to watch any cartoons. Our house was a movie TV show restriction area. I still watched them, but some of them were restricted. Wait, so help me understand. You were allowed to watch whatever you wanted, but it was restricted? I don't understand. Can you help me with that? Let's see. Checking this art book, making sure I understand how things are. It's amazing how flat some of these are. Actually, here, let's take a look at the textured stuff here. No, don't. No, stay in the folder. Yeah, their silhouette game is amazing. So they have lots of gradients and then they go over it. big blocky shapes and some subtle textures here and there. Okay. So, okay. So let me go back in and try something. I'm gonna merge this layer below, and let's remove some of these shadow shapes. We're just gonna go in. And just have a little more fun with these. I watched everything in secret. Oh my goodness. You sound like such a rebel. I sent you my favorite Fast and Furious video. You check your Insta. Oh my goodness. Did anyone see the trailer for the Gran Turismo movie? I'm curious what anyone thinks of that. It's got David Harbour in it. I almost called him Hopper, because I just know him from Stranger Things. Hopper's one of my favorite characters on that show. You better not die in season 5, or I'm gonna be real upset. Although, to be honest with you, I'd be upset if pretty much any of those characters died. So there's that. Okay. How does this work? You know what? Let's just do this. We'll come in with some different colors here, just like the spider showed me. Loose here. I wonder if there's anything that's remotely similar to what I'm doing. This is so cool. It's just so freaking cool, you guys. Mark says, I think my parents hate The Simpsons too. My family never watched The Simpsons. I don't know why. I don't even know what their opinion is on it. I know that Family Guy was definitely risque. My mom didn't let me like me watching Family Guy. She never forbade it, because by the time I discovered it, I was old enough to understand a lot of it. But yeah, she definitely didn't like it much. I will say that. Okay, let's focus on this character right here. Lower the opacity of view. And let's just see what happens. She had the Bantu knots, if I remember correctly. Yeah. What is the pose I even have her doing? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got confused. I was like, what the heck is she doing? What is this statue working on? If I can do like a nice little gradient on this. Let's get a soft round. Let's have it kind of get a little darker. And we'll do the same thing for up here. Let me switch the song real quick. Let's see if this one's okay. Is there a synopsis on what Shadowbox is about, or is this just the concept for right now? I have a whole document that's about 150, it's between 150 and 200 pages. The numbers vary depending on what size screen I'm looking at, but I have a whole plot. I know exactly how it's going to end. This location, I know exactly where it is. I know who's going to be there in the scene and the significance in the story. But it doesn't show up for a while. This song is frustrating. Oh my gosh. I don't want this. I'm going to delete this one because, I don't like that. Delete background music. Yeah, we're done with that. But yeah, so this location, what can I say about it without giving too much away? This is a location that holds something very valuable. I'll just say that. And it won't show up for quite a while, but it is a very significant location. And considering the thumbnails I did last week that you guys picked, this one seemed to be the one with the most interest. So that's also why I'm doing this one. Okay, let's go back in here. Okay, why is this not... This isn't the color that I want, is it? Oh, I guess it is. Oh, I guess relative colors, okay. I think I'm zooming in too much. Let me stay out for as much as possible. I told you guys I have such a hard time staying zoomed out, and that's one of my Achilles heels when it comes to doing stuff like this. Let's see. In Fast X, there's a bomb that destroys nearly half of Rome. The family is labeled terrorists, yet somehow they travel all over the world without incident. There's a black site in Antarctica. Gal Gadot's character, spoiler, is alive, and I don't remember her dying. So many explosions, no police. How are you gonna know she was in those movies? Jason Statham is in it for like 3 seconds, then probably Amazon to set up the next Hobbs and Shaw movie. Yeah, I don't know. Dom drives a car off a plane into 2 other cars, and those cars explode, but his car is fine. The dialogue is also very top tier. If you've seen any Fast movies, you know what I'm saying. I don't know what it means. I will take a guess, though, and imagine that's probably not stellar by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so let's see. I've figured out this space now. I still want to add things like what you call it, like some of these other textures, like the curvy dots and stuff like that. Because I just find them fun to work with. Oh, the colors look different on my screen versus yours. That's interesting. I keep toggling in and out just to see like how the values are working. And I got to separate quite a few things out a little bit more. What I could do, especially with this background here, I can go in and let's get some more of this blue happening. Yeah, there we go. Apparently I have too much of this outlined. Hey. Okay. So I think what I can do here, well, first off, let's see what the purple light does. I think we should add a little bit of purple into the wall, just a hint of it. I think that would be cool. So let's get a soft, let's get our noise brush maybe. Let's see what happens. Add some purple without doing anything. It's got a little bit of a glow. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's okay. Not that bright. Dark, I mean. Oh wow, the color is super different, you guys, then. That is really unfortunate. The story is great. Jordan can attest to the fact that I'm a very picky viewer, so you can't see it yet. Jordan's working hard to make it 100. It'll be worth it. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like I wish I could show you guys just how long the document is without like spoiling stuff. So if I could show you right now, but all you need to do is pause it and you could figure out all this stuff. But it's one of those. I'll tell you this. It's a coming of age story. It's got action, adventure, fantasy, and I could describe. I could tell you the two shows or projects I would compare it to, but I think it would actually give some stuff away in some ways. But it's just one of those things that I've been building for quite a while, and is a story that I would have liked to see as a young person. And I'm still young, but I mean, as like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old, you know. So yeah, it's a project that I've been working on since I was 14, essentially, off and on. And honestly, I just have a lot of fun building it, and that's kind of my litmus test for it. And I'm just kind of thankful that even though you guys don't know virtually anything about it, because I've been keeping it secret on purpose, that you guys are still like tuning in to the channel and seeing what's becoming of it, even in its little stages. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. You guys have no idea. And I hope that when it does come out, when it's ready for you guys to see, that you guys will be just as excited about it as I am. And if not, then, well, you know, it is what it is. Can't make everybody happy. So one of the things that I'm thinking about right now is how backwards my process is. Like I'm thinking about like the images I saw here. I probably should have done it a little bit differently starting off, but I'm already an hour into the stream, so we're just gonna keep going with it, and we're just gonna hope for the best. One thing I am gonna do though that is kind of bugging me though, I'm gonna get rid of some of this here. Can I move this without destroying? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, get that lighting. All right. Okay, that's not looking too bad. And then what I actually should do, let's turn on the symmetry, and I'm gonna go back into the eraser tool, soft, and I don't think this light should be as strong, so it's gonna work if I do it like this. Oh, I guess not. Okay, so let's go back in and do a rectangular lasso. Bam. Okay, come back in. There we are. I missed quite a few comments. Let's see. I will definitely look out for it. It's a lie. I was doing gestures through the entire movie, but it was still a lie. Also, Jason Momoa is in it. He's the villain, so he might be part of the family in the next movie. Sorry for the fast chats. I'll be quiet now. No, you're good. It's all good. SB not only has an epic story and world, but also great themes. Thank you, Cappy. I'm so glad that you think that. Thank you for hyping up a project. One of the many things I like about Shotbox is that it's something made to be fun for kids. Some people making kids shows don't seem to actually like kids that much, and it shows. Yeah, I actually I think part of it is because I still consider myself a kid in a lot of ways. I really I try to remain kid-like in that sense when it comes to the sense of wonder and everything. Like, you guys should have seen me when I was watching Across the Spider-Verse. It was just so exciting, and I was like, this is one of the most incredible experiences ever, and I want to be able to provide that for this generation. And I think, I mean, there's only so much that I can do individually, and I really want to work with people who have that same type of vision and understanding. So that's why I like people like Megan and Kathy helping me. And who knows, there might be some openings in the future. We will see. But yeah, it's super fun working on all of it. One reason for that is Jordan keeps in mind his past self, and another is he gets feedback from kids, and kids can be brutal if they don't like something. Actually, yeah, there is this one kid in my church. He's 10, and he's always like going like, so what's up with shadow boxes? He's always asking me questions and it's like, you should do this, and he'll make up whole plot lines. I'm like, bro, that doesn't even make sense for what I'm doing. Unfortunately, he doesn't know the story really, but he's like always checking in. It's really fun. So kids seem to like it, and that's really, at the end of the day, all that matters. The target audience is 8 to 12, so there's not going to be any there's going to be some really heavy themes, but it's not going to be something that that's going to have like a bunch of cussing or anything like super graphic violence or anything like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff really. So it'll be for the whole family to enjoy, and hopefully you all will enjoy it. No worries, I've been developing stories and characters and having blocks in writing. Now I just stick to drawing and painting a story. I'm really not sure where it will go. I really got to get theaters to see the Spideyverse. You do have to get into it. Oh my gosh. And this is a toast to make sure that Monique can get into seeing that movie. If you don't, I'm gonna buy your. I'm gonna replace your ticket and go see it myself. And whatever money that they would have gained from you, they'll get from me. But your point about developing stories and writing characters, you know what? Honestly, I didn't know how to write anything either, and I still think I'm in the very beginning stage of learning how to write. But I went to YouTube Academy and watched so many hundreds of hours of content, like studying story and stuff, and that's what's helped me. I didn't do any like classes with Shadowboxers in mind that talked about writing, and part of me is a little bit nervous about that. But the other thing is, you listen to some of these writers and like some of these guys in Hollywood, and they also didn't do that. So I don't think it's 100% necessary to have a certain like amount of experience per se, like when it comes to having some sort of certificate or whatever. I think a passion for what you're working on and a knowledge of the medium is all you really need to get you started on stuff. It's so worth it to see it on the big screen. I'm going to see it again in theaters, and that is unprecedented for me. Yeah, when I just saw the movie on Friday again with my mom and my cousin. They both loved it. They were so impressed. And yeah, since you haven't seen it, Monique, I won't spoil it for you, but man, it has some great stuff. And I noticed a lot of things on the second watch through that I didn't catch in the first one. It's just that fantastic. So whenever you can go see the movie, please go see the movie. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. Okay. So I'm really liking this kind of purple backdrop here. That looks really nice. Let's see. Yeah, that's the color I want. That ain't it. Mark, I see you sending me Instagram stuff. But yeah, going back to the whole like story writing thing. I mean, if it's something, if you have a story that you really feel moved to tell, you should just do it. You really should. I admit, I feel self-conscious all the time, even about shadowboxers, despite the fact that I've worked so long on it, and there's many people who told me how much they appreciate the potential it has and everything. But it makes me nervous all the time because I have that world famous imposter syndrome often, and sometimes it's even hard to get on streams because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's I don't know enough or whatever. But then, first of all, this is what I think too. It's kind of a balance and a challenge that I face. I look at stuff like we just talked about bad sequels with bad films, and somehow those things get funded for millions upon millions and millions of dollars for bad ideas. Like, it's very rare to have something that's actually quality. Like Spider-Verse took risks. They took a lot of risks and it paid off. And no one has ever seen anything like it, at least on the big screen in the mainstream. I'm sure there might be some indie filmmaker somewhere who did something that, inspired Spider-Verse or whatever. I don't know what that is, if that's the case. But this industry, from what I'm learning, is not necessarily about creativity. It's about making money. And the way my uncle puts it, he says it's show business. There has to be a business component to it, and it makes sense because you want to be able to make money. And sometimes they'll just do the stupid 20th version of the movie. Not talking about Fast and Furious like in the slightest, and because it makes money, then they'll just make more of it. That's just how it is. Versus risking everything to tell a story that no one knows is going to be successful or popular. That's a hard sell, honestly. And you have to think about it from a business perspective. But every once in a while you get some amazing projects out there, and it could be life changing. So you just never know. You never know. And hopefully, shadowboxers can be part of the crew of stories that people seem to really vibe with and connect with. That's my goal. My ultimate goal, I want to be able to have like 5-year-olds come up to me and be like, this story is so awesome, or 8-year-olds, I guess that's the target audience. But that to me is the most fulfilling aspect of what I do. Is when a kid likes it, because like Megan said, kids are brutally honest, and if they don't like something, they will let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt. They have no issues. It's funny, little kids. No one has to teach little kids to lie, and no one has to teach little kids to tell the truth about certain things. Like they just know. Like, this tastes bad. That was a bad movie. I don't like this. It's hilarious to me. Kathy says it really hits different on the big screen, which is true. The Spider-Verse movies are literally the only ones I've seen more than once in theaters. Are you? Wow, I didn't know that actually. That's fascinating. Story by McKee, the Anatomy story by Truby. And just so everyone knows, is Robert McKee and then John Truby are two great books to start. They aren't the end-all be-all, but they'll give you a framework to help you analyze stories. Michelle, actually, I think I've talked about this website before, but this one really helped me out too, a lot too. It's a website called TV Tropes, and it goes through all these stories. I don't want to give my consent. Do I have to consent to all this? Really? Whatever. Anyway, if you go on here, you could find a bunch of examples of literary devices and tropes. So, for example, fallen angel. What is that? The concept of the fallen angel comes from the Book of Revelation, from the Bible, and then it goes to describe it a little bit more. It talks about mind control. Light is not a good option, fallen hero, etc., etc. And then it'll give you examples of literature, tabletop games, video games, advertising, anime, manga, card games, comics, fan work, music, etc., and just about everything you can think of. And I don't even know how many thousands of tropes there are that you can go through. Conquer from the future, do anything robot, to the Bat Pole, Southeast, I don't even know what that is. Not so harmless villain, crash course landing. So I don't even know what all these are, but I think it's a really good place for you to kind of start figuring out story, and you can reanalyze the books and movies that you've read and watched before, and get an even deeper understanding of how they're written. Because now I go into a movie or read something and I'm like, oh, that's this, and I have a stronger understanding of how it was set up and why certain things work and why certain things don't. What else is another website? There's a bunch of YouTube channels too. There's Studio Binder. Hello Future Me is one of my favorites. There's Tales. It's like Tales from the Screenplay, I think, is a great one. I have a list somewhere. Where's my list? Maybe. No, it's a screenshot. I thought I had a file of it, but it's a screenshot somewhere. Thanks, Megan. I will look into those books. I picked up a few books on creative blocks and how to move past it. TV Tropes is really fun. It is really fun. The other thing I will say, when it comes to story, allow yourself the freedom to know that there's no hard, fast rule for anything. It's just like art. There's enough rules that can be broken, just as many as there are rules to have established. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that everything has to be perfect or something like that, or you can't find a reason to do this one element because you didn't see it in Truby's book or something. So yeah, I would just say go as abstract as possible with your project. Like, have as much fun as you possibly can, and then once you just get out all your ideas, then you can edit down. I think that's one thing that I wish I would have that's one thing I wish I would correct it. I wish I would have not edited myself too early on when I was first working on Shadowboxers, because I would keep saying, no, that's not going to work, but I hadn't even fleshed the idea out. And so you want to really make sure that you understand that it's important to have those creative moments. That's super, super important. You don't want to stunt your own growth for your project. Okay. That's a little bright for this guy. Megan says it's kind of alarming too when you have a character in there, you find the TV tropes that fit your character exactly. That is so true. It's weird. It's really, really weird. But, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's been done before, but no one has done it in the way that you can do it. That's what's so fun about these stories. So have fun, make things up as you go. Oh, what's up, Daniel? Thank you for coming on, dude. Much appreciated. Everything is going well. I hope you and your family are well too. 9 watching and 6 likes. Uh-oh. Megan's gonna punch y'all down. Get those likes up, people. You should be glad I don't go so hard on that, because there are people who will literally stop live streams when they don't have enough likes. They will cancel it. They'll be like, you need to send more money. I don't do any of that stuff. Probably because I don't have the ability to. But yeah, get those likes up. Show some love, y'all. I'm sensitive. I need validation. No, but for real, I appreciate the support. All right. So this is not quite there, but it's looking kind of cool. I think the values are much stronger now than they were before, because now the lines are not doing all of the work. You guys see that? Even on the small screen I'm looking over there, it's looking cool. And the purple. I'm freaking loving the purple. Fun fact, purple is actually my favorite color. You guys may or may not have known that. It's literally a pass, just a little bit of this. That didn't work out the way I wanted, so let's go back in. Okay. I'm trying to stay as loose as possible on this. And one of the things that I want to do for this far left statue, as well as the other ones, I want to make sure I have a nice sharp outline for let me get rid of this symmetry. I want to have a nice strong silhouette on this body so that I can have the separation using light and dark values, not by lines so much. So I'll be lighter, then I can come back here, get some darker values. Now it's got a stronger silhouette. Doing good, actually just trying to get some jobs before the summer is over, and we'll be consistent with art. Good, I like to hear it. Hope you do well with the job search. I know that you were looking for a couple things, but yeah, I'm sure you'll find something soon. Purple has a meaning of royalty usually. There's actually several meanings for purple, but yes, you are correct. Fun fact, does anyone know why the color purple symbolizes royalty? Anyone know? But yeah, purple can also represent being ethereal, fantasy, mystic. It can represent romance, or what's another word? Sensual, I guess. It can, and then obviously royalty. But does anyone know what the reason for that is? Megan says, I know, I do, but I'll let other people think about it. Yes, let's see. I want to see who knows. There's actually a really good YouTube video about the psychology of purple in video games. It's really fascinating. And this doesn't really give away the answer to the question I asked, but it was basically saying that purple is one of the rarest colors in nature. And so if you're playing a game and you're in the forest area and it's all green, usually they will use the color purple to symbolize something that's dangerous or something that you should go to because it stands out. Monique says, I don't know. And then Kathy put a little snail emoji, and that is actually correct. So basically, The reason that purple represents royalty is because back in the days, at least going back to BC era, they would use they would try and get purple by let me back up. The only way you can get purple was by crushing the shells of a very specific snail that was very rare, and they would turn it into a dye, and that was very, very expensive. And so that's why only royalty could afford to use purple in their fabrics, because it's just very hard to find. Nowadays we have synthetic colors and everything, and now you can get a purple shirt for $10 at Marshalls or Ross or something if you really wanted to. But back then it was very, very different. So that is exactly right, Kathy. You win a prize. I don't know what that prize is, but you win that game. Okay. It's looking pretty cool. I think I can go a little bit darker in the background for our center guy right here. By the way, the guy in the middle does have a name. I just haven't revealed it yet. I know exactly who it is, though. I do know. Let me save this before it gets too out of hand. Okay, I think I need to go even brighter. What was the sketch of this guy? Oh yeah, he had the locks. Okay, now I remember. It's so strange painting like this. It's like everything is a brick almost. I'm just painting with the sharpest of tools. But it's fun though, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty fun. And it's more like drawing now that I think about it. Like it's very little actual painting. In biblical color theory, red represents man, blue represents heaven, and purple is both and represents Jesus. Yeah, well, there's a lot of color symbolism in the Bible. Because red opposite represents sin. If you talk about though your sins be as scarlet, they should be white as snow. Blood of the Lamb, obviously. Then there's the woman who sits on a red-colored beast, so that also is kind of sin. And then blue being heaven, that's true, but also represents the commandments of God. Some people may or may not know that the 10 Commandments were actually written on like sapphire stone, so it was actually blue. So a lot of the movies they have in like a gray rock or something is actually blue. And then purple, yes, obviously purple has both of those colors in it. But you are not wrong. You are not wrong, Mark. There's so many others in there. There's gold, there's silver, there's bronze. Although I don't know if bronze is so much a color as it is a metal, but whatever. But yeah, those all represent something. That's actually one thing I'm about shadow boxes that's really fun, is just finding little symbols for stuff. Because there's a lot of different cultures in this world. There's a lot of different little Easter eggs in there, I guess. And it's really fun to kind of explore that and plot those in. Okay, that's looking pretty good, I think. And then the floor, where's the floor? Right? And then, I guess it's this here. Okay. All right, let's lock that. And then let's just play with some textures a little bit. Oh, what the heck? Why is that? What's above this? Maybe it's the pixel lock. There we go. Oh snap, Elena's on. What's up, Elena? Welcome to the stream. Love how it's looking. Oh, good. I'm glad you like how it's looking. I literally have not done anything else other than this. I was anticipating doing more stuff on the stream, but apparently not. So we're just going to work on this until I get tired or hungry, or whichever comes first. Let's see here. Let's get that around here. Yeah, I'm going to consider this like a slightly cleaner color rough, because I would love to go in like really develop it to the level of this. That's not going to happen in the stream by any means, but I think I would do it by a slightly different process. But it's okay, because I'm still having fun with it. Get some shadows over here. But yeah, I think for a while I want to continue doing these types of streams, because I really just want to make more full images of Shadowboxers and some scenes. I think I've been neglecting that far too much. Yeah, I love drawing characters and stuff, but I need to also develop in these areas, because it's something that I don't do as often, and it's very easy to become complacent. So I want to keep building on these. I'm not saying these specific images will have. But sorry, hold on, let me back up before what I'm going to say. I'm not saying that all the images that I'm going to do are going to appear in the story necessarily, but I do want to have these kind of inspirational pieces for myself, so that I can kind of envision what this world is. You know, it's a really fun thing to work on for me. Let's get to these two on the left. They're probably looking a little neglected right now. I have to come back in with this yellow light. Because right now I've got to cover it all up. That's got to cover it. Unfortunately. Let's get a softer brush for this. Let's see. This light should probably be closer to a purple than a blue, so let's change that. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's just use a little color balance. Let's just try magenta first. Magenta. That looks really cool, but that's not right. Yeah, there we go. I'll have to soften that up a bit. Those edges aren't looking quite right to me. Edges are important. All right, then we can come back in here. Let's get the darker value. Use that here. Okay, not looking too shabby. The color story gives off a very epic feeling. Love the purple figure. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad that looks epic. Yeah, this is something I've been envisioning for quite a while, and it's just fun doing this. I have to say, like, I can't really put it any other way. It's just really fun to do. But it warms my heart to know that you like it. It means I'm heading in a good direction for it. And you know, I actually don't even have work tomorrow, so I might work on this longer after the stream. I try to keep the streams to about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how in the zone we are and all that stuff. But I'm kind of in the zone right now. And I found out that because I bought Clip Studio outright, like the really expensive version, that I can put it on my iPad without doing the subscription. So I can sit on the couch and work on this. I don't have to be at my desk anymore, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get a darker color. I don't like using pure black, but that was the closest thing I could use for right now to make it near what I wanted. Nope, I want it to be blue. Okay, purple will have to do, I guess. Is Clip Studio better than Photoshop? Oh my gosh. Well, that's a very subjective question. So, first of all, I am more used to Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop for about 13 or 14 years now. So that's like home base for me. The reason I don't use Photoshop on these streams is mostly because the RAM it takes up. And it's hard. It was hard for me to stream and have Photoshop going at the same time. And that's why I switched to Clip Studio. Now, Photoshop is also a program specifically meant for photographers to use, but it was morphed into an art program because artists just kind of bastardized it in the sense, or expanded upon, whatever you want to call it. So it's not what it was meant for. Clip Studio, on the other hand, was made with artists in mind, and it has a lot more features than Photoshop does. However, my couple of gripes about Clip Studio have more to do with my familiarity with Photoshop. So, like their brush engine, I think it's in their UI layout, I like in Photoshop much more. But I think it has more to do with just me being so used to Photoshop rather than this. So if you're going to make a comic or like any like major projects that's going to involve like a lot of work, a lot of editing, then I think Clip Studio is definitely a good way to go. I'm also a big fan of the Procreate app. I'm a huge fan of that, and it just works so well. And yeah, I don't think you'll ever really catch me saying anything bad about that app, to be totally honest with you. So yeah, it's a subjective question, but Megan says in short, yes, but I would do like Photoshop better for painting. Yeah, Photoshop is better for painting for me. I don't have quite the hang of this yet. That's another reason why I'm also trying out this kind of Spider-Verse look, because Spider-Verse isn't really painterly. If you look at it really closely, it's like I have some development art for it. This isn't really, what is he been holding? I think he's supposed to be holding a phone, but it's not really there. So with this isn't really painterly. It's more blocky. Like they just blocked out shapes. I'm sure they use Photoshop for this, but I think this could work in a Clip Studio like much easier, or something like this. You know, it's super graphic and sharp. Like when they do these mailboxes, honestly, what they do here, they block in the shape. They put in their shadows like here and here. They probably put their lights on a different layer. And then I think in between their shadow and their lights, they probably have all these textures here with the pinks and the random brushes. That's kind of what gives Spider-Verse its look. And they're not afraid to use like these bright pinks and these kind of neon greens and all that stuff. Having lines in their work also is not off limits for them. So that's kind of how they did it. Buying software, the dream. Call me Jack Sparrow. Oh my gosh, way to out yourself, sir. That's funny. In my opinion, price is absolutely a component of how good a program is. The fact that Blender is free puts it above most other 3D software, in my opinion. That is true. I don't know much about 3D software. I can't really speak to that, but I will say that Blender can do an amazing amount of things for the fact that it's free, and it's actually kind of hard to comprehend just how much it's able to do. So I don't know. Space turn the other way. It's not even cold in here. I just like hot air on my leg for some reason. It just is what it is. Cool. Thank you guys. Recently I've been using a lot of Fresco because it's like Procreate, but it has vector brushes, and for line work is so cool. I hope Fresco upgraded since it first came out, because when I tried using Fresco and I got frustrated by it. So I'm glad that you are a fan of it, because I was concerned for it altogether at one point with the one layer. Okay. Trying to see. So one thing I'm afraid of is it's it losing all of its color, especially when I look in there. I guess there wasn't a whole lot of color on the thumbnail for you guys to see anyway. Number one truth about 3D software is expensive. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, they're actually speaking of 3D stuff, you can actually find 3D tools in Clip Studio, which is really cool. We actually talked about that the other day. Matter of fact, here if I open up the Clip Studio, whatever this, I don't even know what this portion is. This is Clip Studio Paint, but Clip Studio has like a main hub or something. I don't even know what to call it. But if it loads up, I think I might have shown this last time, but they have assets that you can purchase. You have modeler set, 3D materials. Let's see. Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Let's find out if it'll work. Yeah, they got like 3D head models, although in my opinion, it'd probably be a waste of time if I got them. I'm so used to drawing heads now. But like environment stuff, oh, I would totally use this. Let me see. Night Sky, Webtoon. Where's the 3? How do I search up 3D models? Where's the store? The cloud. Wait, where do you... Materials? Push to do with assets, find brushes and more. Okay, this must be it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so you can find a bunch of stuff like there's all these buildings that you can just plop in your work, cities, apparently a 3D shrine sheath. That's so specific, but you know, you could use it, you know. I'm not gonna buy it now, but it's super useful. That's something that, as far as I know, Photoshop does not do, which is really cool. To be clear, I bought some software, but I don't do subscriptions, especially outrageous subscriptions. Hey man, you're offering up this information. I'm not asking you anything. So if you get caught off guard, I'm just saying that's on you, my boy. Oh yes, now it has the snapping into shape like Procreate as Animation 2 and live brushes that react like paint. Oh, that's pretty cool. I saw Maya goes for $1,000 and ZBrush for $700, and I was like, okay, I don't know if it shows up for anyone else, but it just says face fusion tongue out. OpenTunes is already amazing and is also really amazing and free. I don't think I know OpenTunes. To CSP's credit, they make it very hard to be Jack Sparrow. Yeah, they do, but it's also a really incredible program. Like I got a hand to them. Like they did a lot of really cool stuff, and yeah. Okay, what is the deal here? I don't. Why is it black? It's not what I want. I want this color. What the heck? I'm not understanding. Display color. Okay, Megan, help. Why is it not picking the color I want? I don't get it. What in the world? Okay, I guess I'll just do a new layer for now. What the heck? What is going on? Is this a different layer mode or something? I'm not figuring this out. So that's another thing. When stuff like this happens, I usually have an... Oh, the blending mode's multiply. That's why. Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah, usually I'm able to figure that stuff out a lot faster in Photoshop because I just recognize it. But here, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, Megan, the tech support. Yeah, you saw how fast I called you up. I was like, "Yo, Megan, I need help. I need an adult." And we're only like 3 months apart, but still, need that tech support. Okay. What colors do I have here? Okay, this one was kind of a pink. This one was a bright purple right here. This could be a little more. And this one, nice yellow. And then let's just do orange. Yeah. Probably should use the lasso tool a lot more in this project, but whatever. It's too late now. It's too late now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this dude had like a mohawk, so let's respect the decisions that Jordan made a week ago. Give him that nice mohawk. Or I guess it's more a frohawk, technically. Probably a little too bright. Okay. So now we can go back on top a little bit more. And let's just see what happens when we add some more color to the mix. So now I'm on a brand new layer. I'm gonna just start adding. Actually, let's do this. Let's add some of that purple rim light here. That could be a whole lot on this side. Some here. Let's get a little bit more saturated in the forehead. Still kind of like this color right here. Let's go a little bit brighter. Sure that the light's shining right on top of it. It's still staying pretty zoomed out. I don't know what's going to come from this. Have you used Krita? No, I have not. I don't know anything about Krita. Other than it's kind of a fun name. Krita. Yes, that was Want to Be Starting Something. In case anyone is curious. kind of like how this face came out the second one. So let's pick that a little bit. I've been looking into using free stuff, so I leave the high C's. I tried drawing in Blender, but my mind isn't ready for that. I mean, Procreate is a really good option. It's only like $10, and it's a one-time payment if you have an iPad. Honestly, if you're really adamant about not using a subscription, I would say Clip Studio is a good option too, because you just buy it outright. At least the version I got. I mean, it was a couple $100 when I got it. Maybe a bit more expensive than that. Can't remember, but yeah. So I would consider Procreate as like a first option though, so you can escape the high seas. But I definitely understand the temptation. I get it. And at the very least, none wrong with good old-fashioned paper and pencil. Probably the cheapest option out there, and it's still the most useful. Because drawing digitally doesn't translate to drawing traditionally as well as the other way around. Like, I was actually drawing on paper today, which is something that I need to do more of, honestly. And I was feeling rusty, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling kind of iffy on my abilities. So I gotta get back on that too. All right, so let's go back and let's do some fun things like add some textures to stuff. Like that. Back wall. Too much. Let's try this. These are basically just like little diagonals. I don't know how well you guys can see it though. Hopefully it shows up well on your screen. Are you going to have temples in your world? That illustration kind of gives me that vibe. Ooh, will I have temples? Short answer, yes. I don't know if I'm going to call them temples, but so you might have missed the part where I talked about how much I love Indiana Jones. One of my favorite things about Indiana Jones is how he's just going in all these places to find artifacts. And Shadowbox is not an Indiana Jones type story, but there are elements from Indiana Jones that I took and put in here. So there will be places where they will go explore, and there's kind of like ancient stuff that they have to look at and understand and learn about. I always love those kinds of things in stories, just that the mystery of it all. I am a sucker for that type of trope. Let's warp this rim light a little bit. Okay. Alpha lock is on. Pixel lock. So let's go back on top of this. I just want to do a soft layer, kind of going over to the bottom of these guys. So kind of push back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Probably push that saturation. Oh no, saturation's not. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I like these outer pillars. There's that one. Okay, it's the statues layer. Let's get rid of these. At least for now, I gotta find an alternative. Plus, I think I'm actually missing one or two statues. That's not going to make it into this final version. This, because the way I look at this piece right now, it's kind of like a color script almost, more than anything. So, yeah, I think that this is something that could definitely be touched up and improved on. Where's the dots? Where's the curved dots? Where's the halftone and diagonal? Where is it? I know I have a halftone brush. Oh, there it is. Okay. Wish it wasn't called halftone rectangle because it doesn't really feel like that at all. My brother still remembers with anguish that bug scene in the Temple of Doom. I can't wait to read the story. Thank you for these streams. I love drawing along with you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Elena. Yeah, it's. I can't wait for it to come out either. Yeah, I'm super excited. Are those Infinity Stones? I would get sued if they were Infinity Stones. They are not Infinity Stones. They are something else. And what they are exactly is something you just have to find out when the project comes. Yeah, I think I want to do a clean up version of this and like really push this as far as I can take it because this is fun. But I think I will be wrapping up pretty soon. More minutes, I think, because we've been streaming for like 2 hours. This time goes by really fast, guys. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but this time goes by real fast for me. And this is what, our 34th stream, something like that. It's really crazy how much we've done. Okay, Eternity Gems then. Well, not quite that either, but your guessing is fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying it. Okay, we can go on top of this right here. Just do a quick gradient floor. Soft round, take this blue, really kind of push that. And also some of this purple can spread out a bit. Now go back on top, get rid of some of the things that we don't need no more. We don't need no more. Okay. This area is looking too dark for my taste, so let's bring in a little bit of light. So let's get rid of that section. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back to the floor. Bring back some of those textures. Oh, wait, no. Let's just clip it. There we go. And then we'll just cut this off. Gotta keep it in the frames of the border. Okay. And then what happens if I do add these lines back? These lines adding something. I still kind of like it with the lines after all that work. Something that just feels a little more complete to me with these lines. Then I think I'm going to do one more layer of purple on top of the statues for some of the lighting. Let's get this on. Okay, that's probably going to go on top of everything. Ooh, that's way too much, but it looks pretty. It's a pretty color. Here. It's definitely too bright. Definitely too bright. So let's go back in, change some of this to a blue. There we go. And then I might even adjust the floor a little bit. There we go. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to make it that small for y'all. Okay. Go on top here. Grab that's my felt pen. Put a little bit of this lighting on top. It's shining down. And then what else can I do to make it work? This one thing would be to change up this floor. The edges. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I think this will work for the night. So we started with this really abstract kind of painterly look. Landed on this for now. And, you know, I'm just having fun. Like I said at this point, for me, it's not really so much about perfection. It's just about conveying the story elements that I'm looking for. And who knows, I may continue to work on this tonight. I don't know. I just want to do a bunch of stuff. But we're going to wrap up the stream, guys. It's been 2 hours and change, and I still have to eat dinner. And I know some of y'all got to go to work. Some of y'all got to go to sleep. Some of y'all got to go watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and a bunch of other stuff. So everyone, please, before we go, please like the video if you have not already. Comment on the video at the end and tell me how much you loved it or hated it, what you guys want to see more of on these streams. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers who have joined. Much love to you guys for doing such a great job. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, everyone, have a good night. Peace.